welcome to my channel and welcome to the final video in this series, Get Out of Your Own Way and Start the Stationery Business. My name is Tatiana. I'm a business coach and a mentor, and hopefully if you've been around for the last few weeks, or a little bit more than a few weeks, but if you've been around, I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you so much for tuning in to this series. Stationery has always been a passion of mine since I was a little girl. I've always loved planning, and just in the last basically like 7 or 8 years, starting a stationery business, sharing my journey online, I am always very passionate about just talking about all of the ins and outs of what it is to run a business and to really help people get to a point where they finally decide that, yes, I'm going to commit to this, I'm going to do it. It takes a lot of courage, right? It takes so much of you to finally say, yes, I'm going to do this thing. It's nice when it sounds good on paper. It's nice when it sounds good to just say it or to make it a New Year goal, but it is another thing to actually start taking the steps to make it happen, to get your shop live, to have your products available for people to purchase, to show up to markets, to, set up your table and sell your products, to talk about it online and sell exactly what it is that you do. Those things take a lot of courage. And so I thought to round this out, I really wanted to just give you my final just bits of advice. Overall, this is definitely, of course, going to apply to more than just a stationery business, but I think it is important. I always approach this channel whenever I'm filming these videos, just like I'm talking to a friend. If a friend came to me and said, okay, I think I want to do this, and I think that I want to share with you my heart of where I am right now. It is February 22nd right now when I'm recording this video of 2024. Where my heart is right now and what I feel are 3 major things that you really need to just kind of keep you in a season of trying to not only start a business, grow a business, maintain a business. It is truly a lot. And when we choose to get out of our own way, there are levels to it. There are a lot of different things that we have to have into play in order for us to actually do the thing and to keep doing the thing every single day, no matter what setbacks, no matter what has come to stop us, right? Whether it be money related, whether it be not understanding something, getting stuck. I just want to give you just these 3 pieces of, I guess I'll say advice, but they're very to the point. Like, this is literally my notes for this video, y'all, because I really just wanted to keep it very simple and speak from the heart. So let's just get into my 3 just final tips for what it means to truly get out of your own way. So the first one that I have written down that I think is important and kind of goes without saying, but I want to just dive into a little bit more, is to be brave. And I know that may come off as corny or like, what? Whatever it may feel like. We gonna have some fluff on this channel, but the reason for that is because it's so true. When you get out of your head and you really decide that you are going to commit to something, you are going to say, okay, yes, this is the thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to put my money in it. I'm going to put my time in it. I'm going to sacrifice things so that I can really make this happen. When you decide to do that, there's this new level of responsibility that you take on, and running a business comes with so much. It comes with the want to put yourself out there, right? The want to grow, the want to truly feel seen in a way, seen just so that people will purchase the things that you have, the things that you poured your heart into. You want somebody to see them. You want them to purchase them. You want to be able to feel that. But with that, it comes a level of bravery to put yourself out there. And so I talk to women so much over the years, and one of the top things that people will say is like, oh, I just don't want to put myself out there. I don't want to put my face online. I just want to be behind the scenes. And I totally get that. And I even see a lot of things coming up now where you can have like faceless pages and all of those things. And so I'm more so speaking to someone that does feel it within inside of them, that they have it. They know this is something that they want to do. They have a story to tell, and their products really have some depth to them that they want to bring to this world. We've talked about things feeling saturated and that not mattering. We've talked about all of the stuff. So make sure you watch the playlist. Make sure you watch even my past videos because I share so much advice on this channel. But I just want you to be brave in this time when you decide to do this business. Remember that you are not going to know everything, and that is okay. You are not going to get 100,000 views on your first video, and that is okay. Or shoot, you might, you never know. You might get lucky and you may, but for most of us, when we get started, getting out of your own way is getting from one scary moment to another, from one anxious moment to another, from one stepping out on faith to another, in order for you to grow. And so the very first thing that I posted, the very first photos I took of my products, the very first products I created, while I felt like that was my best at the time, I looked from who I am now to then and I realized like, wow, I was brave. I didn't know how to do all of these things and I showed up. You have to have a point A. You have to have a point A. That is where the bravery comes in. And so in order for you to get out of your own way, you have to be brave. You have to be willing to actually do this. And it is scary. It is so easy to just say, oh, that would be fun. Oh, that would be cool. Let me look into it. Oh, her videos are so inspiring. I feel fired up. Y'all commented on here saying, I'm starting my business in 2024 and the time is now. All those videos, I did that for a reason, for you to feel affirmed in it. But now the bravery is the action that you take. The bravery is you getting online, going live, ordering the samples, posting your first photos of your products, doing the flip throughs, answering questions, shipping out your first order. All of those firsts, that is the bravery. And there are going to be moments, even years down the line, where you have to continue to be brave. You have to continue to get out of your own way. It never, ever stops. Even me. I just realized I am almost a decade into just entrepreneurship in general, of just trying to do my own thing. It originally started out with me doing a blog and trying to do like a natural hair channel, and then it blossomed into all of what it is today. But I say all that to say is just that through it all, everything that freaked me out at that time has only made me a better entrepreneur today. It has allowed me to do things like this series. It has allowed me to launch planners and shirts, apparel and all of the fun stuff, and create Bun Girl and just all of the things. It all is for a purpose. And so be brave is so much more, again, than just saying like, be brave, get out there, you got this. It's literally like, girl, it's time to take the action. It's time to do it afraid. It's time to finally give yourself an honest try instead of just writing it in a journal, putting it on a vision board, commenting on my video, right? It is time. And so that is the first one, is to be brave. Okay, so number 2 is to be realistic. Okay? I have to take a deep breath on this one because this is a constant reminder that I have to tell myself. When you have a whole life already happening and you decide that you want to add a business into the mix, it can be very easy for your business to become like a distraction, or your business to become this new thing, this new shiny thing that you have to do. But you reach points in your business where you feel burnt out. Okay, you will reach those points, especially I feel as a solopreneur. To me, it could be a little bit biased because that's only what I really have been. But as a solopreneur, there is a special place in my heart for all of us because we have to do the most. It's not even like a situation where like, oh, she's doing the most. It's like, yes, I am doing the most because I got to do the most in order for this thing to run and continue to run. And so be realistic is really meaning that although, yes, this could be a solopreneur situation, and although there are a lot of moving parts that have to happen from day to day, you have to understand that you still have a full life that you are living in addition to your business. So for me, I really try hard, and I'm not perfect at this. There are seasons where my business literally will break me down, and I will feel all of the insecurities and things that I have felt. There are times when my business will build me up and I will feel like, I almost feel like I'm on a pedestal, and I'll be going until I hit that wall of whatever that wall may be. And in so many ways, I just feel that it is important for us to be realistic. Be realistic with our expectations, first and foremost, of what you want this to grow to. As much as I would love for everyone out the gate to sell out of all their products, for you to make whatever your income goal is, for you to hit whatever amount of followers you want right out the gate, your expectations need to be realistic. And when you keep them at bay, when you keep them to a point where it's like, okay, I'm not going to get too crazy with what I'm expecting. I always used to say, like, no expectations, no disappointments. I do think you need to have expectations going in, especially with business, because you want to have things that you're tracking to see, if you are growing, right? If you are moving along. But I just say keep it realistic. As much as it would be great to say, like, oh yeah, most people that start a business, the statistics show that 95% of people go viral and they sell all these things. It's like, consistency comes with a lot of that. Constantly showing up, even when you don't want to, comes with a lot of that. Getting uncomfortable comes with a lot of that. And so really, when you have these expectations, just make sure that you, the person that is pouring into this business, that you are doing everything that you can to make this expectation happen. And so for me, in a lot of different seasons, I will look and be like, well, why didn't this do well? Or, I thought this was going to be so much better. Maybe no one actually cares about this. And then I look at what I actually put in work-wise, and I'm like, well, I can kind of see, why this happened the way that it did. I can kind of see why no one knew about it, considering I only mentioned it maybe in a newsletter and on a random post. And so it's just be realistic with your expectations. If you are expecting to sell out, then sell out behavior needs to be happening. You need to be constantly promoting your product, talking about your product, giving people all the information that we've talked about in a lot of these videos in this series. But it's not just going to be a one-time thing. It's not going to just be like, oh, I did it for a week. It's a constant commitment in order for your business to grow. And so it's important that your expectations are realistic. Another thing that is important is just the amount that you put on your plate. Be realistic with that. And I always say, first, just look at your life as a whole. What all do you have going on? Do you work full time? Are you married or in a serious relationship that takes up amount of time? Are you a parent? Are you doing any extra things outside of you? Are you involved in church? Are you involved in any sports? Like extra things like that. Do you have health and wellness goals that you're hitting? Do you work with individuals for other reasons and different things? Do you show up for your family a lot? Are you a caregiver for someone? There are so many elements that play a role in who we are as women and how we show up in the world. And so when you add this business in there, and you are thinking you're going to, again, hit these goals and hit these expectations, we have to realize that there is a capacity level in every season of life. And so what I was able to do pre-mom life is not going to look like what I'm able to do now with a 5-year-old at home homeschooling. Totally different life. And so when we continue to look at how someone else is doing something, for example, it can be very easy for us to have unrealistic goals in our mind of what it's going to look like to run a business. And it's going to be unrealistic expectations around like, oh, I'm going to quit my job in 6 months. And so I guess the biggest thing with it is just when you put all of these things on your plate, just keep in mind, I always say, try to just start with one thing, okay? I know I say it all the time, but this is really what it means here is just focus on one thing. It is so much easier said than done. I know I have been dealing with it even more recently, these last couple of months myself, just wrestling with the projects I'm working on and having to really prioritize, okay, like this is what I need to focus on. Peeling back the layers of like, this is going to have to hold off because of all of these things. Because at the end of the day, I always look at my priorities, and being a good mom, being a good wife, and being good to myself are always my top priorities. Being there to support those that I love is always going to be a top priority. And so if I allow my business to take up 90% of that, it leaves almost nothing, and so it leads to all of the feelings of just not feeling enough, feeling inadequate to be able to do all of these different parts. And I'm not going to say that there's this perfect puzzle to make it all fit, because honestly, I will just say in the years that I have been doing this, I have not found that answer. But be realistic with yourself. Don't try to launch 10 products at one time. Don't try to do all of the things. I know you might be interested in doing the email list, doing the text list, getting into stores, doing all of the markets in person. Maybe you were trying to get into some conferences and have your products sold at those conferences. Maybe you want a PR team. Maybe you want to work with influencers. There's a lot of different things I just mentioned, and all of those require a specific amount of time and attention in order to get to that point. All of these different type of product ideas you have in your mind, they are going to require a level of attention and time. All of the day-to-day tasks, shipping orders, responding to messages, creating content, posting the content, all of that requires a level of time. And so when you start to really even do like a time audit and you see how much time it takes you to do these things, you will start to respect your time more and be like, okay, I might not be able to do these 50 ideas that I had right now. And it doesn't mean you can never do it, but just be realistic, okay? And that's going to mean something different for everyone because we all have different situations. We all are trying to make this work in the midst of a lot of different scenarios, but just be realistic with yourself. Do not allow this business to run you into the ground because I want you to be successful in it. And it can be so easy just that quick to feel the overwhelm of it all and be like, okay, I can't do this. And so to get out of your own way, you got to be realistic with what you have, with who you are, right? Just all of those things, just be realistic. So the very last point that I have on here is to be open. And I really speak to my past self when I say this because for many, many years, I really took the solo and solopreneur to heart, okay? I felt like I had to do everything myself. I felt like I had to figure it all out by myself. I felt like if I even looked to someone else or asked someone else a question, it was a reflection on me because it meant I didn't know something or I wasn't good enough to figure it out. And, that's a personal thing, I'm working on it and I have worked on it over the years. But I just really speak to you in being open to the process and understanding that while you are not going to have all the answers, I'm saying that to you, you are not going to have all of the answers. Even if you are a go-getter, you are a bootstrapper, I'm going to figure it out. I can do bad all by myself. If you are any of those things, we already know that you are not going to have all of the answers. And so be open to the process. Be open to learning. Be open to talking with others. Be open to asking the important questions that are going to get you moving forward so that you are not stuck for months because you are just too in your head to want to ask someone. Like a lot of people will have pride in being able to say, well, I figured that out on my own. I didn't need a course. I didn't need a coach. I didn't need to talk to so-and-so. I didn't need to look at a YouTube video. I figured it out on my own. But so much time is wasted when you have to do that. And just so much is wrapped into that of feeling like you can't ask for help. And I feel like that really, it could be a whole different video. I don't know about y'all, but like sometimes it's just hard to ask for help. And it leads to that burnout. It leads to just feeling like, how can I possibly manage all of these things? And so be open to asking for help, y'all. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg to learn what you need to know. But I just find that for me, once I was open to learning from others, okay, this is just me being completely honest. And this was some years into my business. But once I was open to finally being like, okay, I've hit this wall. I feel like I know what I'm doing. I got a good footing, but I need to learn more. Like I need to learn how to grow this YouTube channel. I need to learn how to make these planners. I need to learn how to do all of these different things. And so at first it felt like I have to figure it all out on my own, but you get to a point where it's like, I'm wasting so much time because I just don't know the first step. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't even know anything about this to know where to begin. But the moment that I opened up to like, I'm going to take a course and learn about this particular thing. I remember the very first course that I took. And y'all, literally I was about I started my business in 2016. And I think it was in 2019, I took my first course, 2019 or the beginning of 2020. And it was all about an email list. It was all about like what is an email list? Why do you need to have one? And just how to really grow it. That was one of the first courses I had ever took. Prior to that, I was just like, I have an email list. I don't know what I'm doing with it. And it opened my eyes up to so much. It changed the dynamic of my business. And now that's something I preach about all the time to others because I've seen the success of it. I've seen how an email list has really helped my business to have just like this additional impact that I love. But I would have never known that if I would have just stayed in my head and if I would have just been like, I don't want to learn from this person. I don't want to invest in this. And so as that was the first of many things I invested in order for me to only grow as an entrepreneur. And so I just speak to the person that feels like maybe you feel a little bit prideful, maybe you feel like I'm not asking for help or you have whatever feeling. Maybe, sometimes there's experience where you may feel like I went down that route before and then this was the bad experience that I had. But I just encourage you to find someone or something that resonates with you so that you can save yourself time, you can save yourself energy, but most importantly, you can get the support that you need in order to get out of your own way, okay? Be open to that. And so that is why I have been so committed over the years, but especially this last year of running my membership. My membership is so close to my heart because it is truly what I wished that I would have had back when I started my stationery business in 2016. And we have women with a lot of different businesses in my membership, not just stationery, but it is truly a sisterhood in so many ways because we all have so many different things going on in our lives, but we all have this common goal of like, I'm gonna try to make this thing work in the midst of it. And it is nothing like having that support. The membership, y'all, like it is such a good thing for you to look into, try it out. We have monthly trainings, we have community calls, we do co-working together, we set goals together, we hold each other accountable. People can ask questions. There's tons of support and you're learning and you're continuing to grow your business. The trainings, I pour my heart into it. I have other guest experts come in to talk to us as well. We have book clubs, we have prayer. We have so many different elements of what it truly means to be the person of the business, right? And how you can fit all of these different pieces in order for you to truly succeed and see your goals happen. So I had to mention that because that was a big piece of what was missing in the beginning of my journey. And every now and then, like I would try to get into like Facebook groups and connect with people and just different things. But this experience is just so different from any of those types of things. And even more so, another really great thing for me, and I did a whole podcast episode on this, was getting an accountability partner who is now literally one of my really, really good friends. Life-changing, okay? Life-changing. To find someone that just gets you, they understand you on a personal level, they understand you and what you're trying to do with your business and your vision of where you see it going. It is nothing like having that person because not only do they get you from the aspect of like, okay, this is the business I'm trying to run, etc., but they're able to give you a different view of your life and your business in a way that you may not be looking at. And God knows I'm so grateful for mine, Shalina. Hey, if you're watching this video, girl, I love you. But I met Shalina through a program that I had invested in. And so put yourself in the rooms. That's why I'm saying be open to the process. Put yourself in the rooms with other people that are like-minded. Get into these different places. There are events and things that are probably going on locally around you where you can meet other entrepreneurs. This is really where you get that community and that support and that accountability that you need, because as much as it is great to say like, I'm a solopreneur, I can do it all by myself, that is wonderful. It's great. Me doing it for so many years, I can see, where that might be coming from. But the second half of me and my business life has been so much fuller. from having relationships that I've been building and connecting. And I'm not even mentioning all of the different things I've done over the years, the things I've invested in, the opportunities that I've gotten, the relationships that I've built, people that I've met, things that I've learned that I never would have even known that I should know about, just simply from being around other people that are wanting to do similar things, wanting to build something outside of themselves. And it is nothing like being in a room of people or being on a call with people or just having a conversation with someone that is just trying to get out of their own way too. And they're like, this is how I'm doing it. This is what's working for me, giving you that support you need, building you up, and you able to share things with them as well. Because of course it can be something that is collaborative with everyone. But be open, okay? Be open. Take off your cape, okay? If you need to. Don't feel like you need to be the superhero of this business. Be open to the process in the way of when you feel stuck, seek help. Don't allow yourself to sit in it because it just wastes time, y'all. And we are not trying to waste time. We are trying to, like we said, I am launching my stationery business in 2024. And so if that is a statement that you put in that first video, if you happen to be watching this and you have been watching this series, I want you to actually mean what you wrote. And this is a big, big thing I see is where people will get stuck. You'll do YouTube University, but you still feel stuck. So it doesn't mean that it has to be me, but find someone, something, some element that will really help you to get out of your own way. Don't allow yourself to feel stuck and just waste more time. And then we get to the December of the end of this year and you are looking like, and yet another year has passed and I didn't get started. So that is my last piece. I'm going to get off my soapbox now. I hope you enjoyed this series. It has been so much fun to talk about. All of the business videos are going to continue to keep coming, of course, but I wanted to kind of have this one very specific. So continue to keep watching. Videos will continue to come. I'll be sharing behind the scenes of me with my own business and continuing to share these tips and inspiration so that you can continue to move forward as the year goes on, as the years go on. I just thank you so much for being here, and I will see you all in my next video.